And here we go. Welcome one, welcome all to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. I am Mike, aka Veteran Crypto, and with me as always is Jeff from the Blockchain Report. How's it going, brother?
Doing good, doing great. Got a lot of cleaning done today in the apartment and a lot of work done. So feeling accomplished and the space is nice and clean. So
Nice.
a lot less cat hair.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling. It's having a clean space. I'm like huge into the keeping stuff clean, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
I actually spent today. I did a really good episode earlier with Jake Call over at Metrics
Mhm.
Finance. He launched a bunch of new functionality on on the platform, and it doesn't do just liquidity pools anymore. It actually simulates lending and borrowing, and he's going to be including looping in there. It tracks your entire portfolio now. So your liquidity pools, with on the supported platforms, of course, but your liquidity pools and your borrowing and lending, so you can have a freaking full idea of how profitable that your portfolio is and your positions are. So
Mhm.
like basically, it totally negates my spreadsheet. That whole spreadsheet that we offered for free in
Yep.
our Discord. I mean, you can still use it. It's a great tool, but with this metrics finance, it makes it pretty much obsolete. So, and then of course I strapped on my plate carrier and grabbed one of my rifles and hiked up to the top of the mountain to get my workout in before the show here. And now I got my tasty beverage, and we're gonna
Mhm.
sit back and talk about some sweet-fi.
Yeah, how much is that plate carrier that you had strapped on?
Oh, the one there in the
How
background
much
there.
does it weigh? Yeah.
How much does it weigh? With the plates and all the mags and everything, I'd say probably like 40 pounds, 35 pounds.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good workout.
Yeah, that, and then the rifle's about 8 pounds, roughly. So
Okay. Yeah,
no,
sounds like a good day, man.
well, if you come out here, I'll take you up there, man. It's quite the incline. It's not very
Oh,
far, but it's nice and steep, so it gets the glutes burning.
ooh, yeah. It's my kind of workout.
Yeah, yeah. So, DeFi Don says his weighs about 50. I don't know. Maybe mine does. I don't know. I know it weighs something. So, well, let's if you want to introduce the socials,
Yeah,
let's jump
you
into
got
this.
you got the where's the scene changer at? I'm not
Oh, here you go. I'll hook you up. I got you. I got you.
brother up with the
There
with the
you go.
view. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
No, we appreciate everyone for joining us today here at DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, where me and Mike go live every Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you're on Twitter, join us on YouTube, as you can get involved in the chat a lot easier. And it's pretty lively in there. So if you haven't checked out the episode Mike did earlier, like he was saying with metrics finance. That was a great episode. Really powerful tool that just launched. What was it? The borrowing and lending feature that you said?
Yeah,
There's
yeah. So basically, he just added a bunch of functionality. If you want to go watch the video, I'm not going to be able to do it justice in a couple of
yeah.
seconds. Plenty of new functionality, and the cool thing is like you were just showing. You can do a yearly subscription, but you can do monthly too. And the great thing is there's a free, there's a free package. It doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
all the functionality, but it will give you an idea of the value. Being able to look at your portfolio and see your P&L, your profit and loss, and just all those different things. Your profitability versus hodl. All of those key data points to better understand if you're being profitable or not. If you feel like that it has value, I'm not saying run out and get it. Full disclosure. If you sign up with our affiliate link that's in the description of the channel
Mm-hmm.
or episodes, we do make a little bit of money off that. I just want to be honest about it, but that's not why we're talking about it. I personally use this, and I've almost stopped using my spreadsheet. I use my spreadsheet for a couple of positions that I have that aren't supported by metrics, like on Plume and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
you can do it by the month. So like if you like some of the functionality, you want to try it for $50 per month, then you can do that. And then if there's the $100 a month, and that one actually has a really cool AI that they've been trained, and you can actually put screenshots of metrics finance or any of your positions, your DeFi positions, and it will actually analyze the screenshots and tell you if you should rebalance, if you should
Mm-hmm.
that position, if you should stay in the position. It will actually give you advice. It's almost like having an expert, DeFi professional, there to guide you. And so, yeah, just a ton of freaking value. So anyway, if you're
Yeah,
interested,
you were using it before,
yeah,
Jake
yeah, no,
even.
no. Yeah, I was using it before me and Jake even started talking. It really is a valuable tool. I would not, be shilling it if it wasn't.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so come check us out here at DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. And Mike also has his DeFi Academy. If you're looking to get into DeFi and don't know where to start, it's a perfect place to go. He's also got his DeFi Masterclass every Wednesday and Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, with David from DeFi University and Jake Call, Metrics Finance. And the Money Talks coming back either this Monday or the Monday after, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And like I said, check out the description. The links are all in the description below. And you can save pretty big on, because there's some courses and places that charge at least $100 a month for
Well,
their
and
course or
you have those prices
advice.
set to you have those
Yeah,
prices set to yearly right there, and you can do it by the year. And on the elite package, if you do it by the year, you actually save 20% right now.
yeah,
So, so you only pay $800 for the year. So, I mean, again, I would say try the free first, see if there's value, but I'll be honest, it's going to, you are going to earn more using it if you're using it properly. And there's also, with that elite package, there's a university that they have built out that you can
mm,
go through that teaches you how to use it all. So, like I said, between the AI and that, it's going to pay for itself. If you're doing any decent amount of DeFi, if it's not like $50, you have $150 liquidity pool, that's not what this is for. Use the free version, for that.
yeah,
But when you start getting up to where you have tens of thousands of dollars, or hundreds of thousands or something like that, this is a
yeah,
must have, and it's the best one on the market. It really is.
yep, yeah. Awesome tools, man. And you can check us out on Twitter at the_only_DCA. And you can catch Mike at Veteran for Crypto and me at the BCR142. And we're also streaming on the pump.fun. And we had to create a token on here. Oh, let me mute this. Look at that.
There we are.
We had to create a token in order to stream. And all of the tokens are released, and over 80% are owned by the liquidity pool. So I think we own like 0.5%
Well,
each.
together we own 1% of the
Yeah,
supply.
1%.
so there is no insider action going on. I promise you.
No. So, and if we do get creator rewards from only the buying and selling, kind of like how people trade liquidity pools.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy and sell, don't care if you hold, just buy and sell if you choose to.
I honestly don't even care if you buy or sell. I mean, if you want to support the channel, we appreciate it. If not, that's fine too. Like again, we're just trying to stream in as many places as possible.
Yeah, and we have a free Discord here too, with a whole bunch of alpha and awesome people in the community. And this episode is actually from a host of people in our community asking about different SUI DeFi protocols. So figure it would be good to cover some and try and see what we can find, because I'm not too hot in the SUI ecosystem. But some people are and been sharing some pretty nice APY. So figure we check in, see what the hype is about.
Well, I'll be honest. I have never once used. I don't think I've ever bought SUI. I don't think I've ever used any DeFi on SUI. But in getting ready for this show, I was going through and found some really interesting alpha. And I pulled up Hyperliquid, I pulled up Aster, and SUI, and on DeFi Llama, and we'll go over it here in a minute. There is some really interesting data that surprised me, that made me want to maybe delve into a little bit of SUI DeFi, but we'll get into that here in a second.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to start with what you got, I got some of the protocols pulled up.
All right, let's see. Let's share this. So we'll start here. So what we got here is, and this is going to be our Thursday night, our Tuesday night, super casual. I'm gonna have beverages while we do this. So this is real
Your grape
informal.
juice?
Yes, my grape juice. So
Grape
this is
juice.
gonna be real informal. So feel free to pour a drink, smoke it if you got it, whatever. We don't judge here. We don't judge. So yeah, I pulled up SUI, and as you can see up here, my good old DeFi Llama. I got TVL, DEX volumes, and this is all the DEXs, bridged TVL, so basically the liquidity that's being bridged over, and then net inflows. So I brought up these data points, and this is what I'm finding interesting. Is let's see if we can squeeze this. So basically, you can see here recently, towards the end of September, we started seeing this pump of TVL, of this liquidity into SUI. At the same time, you're seeing bridge TVL pumping, so that's where, a lot of that probably came from. And the volumes, you can't really see it too well, but the volumes are all the way up here, almost with, at the level of, the TVL. I mean, it's they're quite the candles, because before the volume was down around this range. You can see around the 432 million, and then here recently, now we're up to 1.4 billion in DEX volume. So I mean, that's quite the fucking jump, dude.
and
So
what time frame is that when it really spiked up?
That's just between the end of September and now. So in the past week or two. Well, actually, if you go back, it looks like the 29 September, the DEX volume was only at 526 million. And then, just a week later, basically, we're up to 1.4 billion.
God.
So, I mean, that's quite the move. And now, if we go over to Hyperliquid, I mean, Hyperliquid is the talk of the town, as is Aster. We'll get into Aster here in a minute. And keep in mind, I looked. The first chart that we were looking at is the entire SUI chain. It's not a single protocol. The entire SUI chain. So I want to make sure that I make that clear, because this one is the entire Hyperliquid chain, but the last one I couldn't find the BNB chain, as a whole. So I had to look up just Aster because it's the hot DEX right now. So
Uh,
Hyperliquid, you can see that Hyperliquid as an entire chain is 2.3 billion. Now, if you come back here to SUI, 2.6 billion. So SUI has more TVL than Hyperliquid.
mm-hmm.
And and Hyperliquid and Aster is the talk of the town. Now, if you look at Hyperliquid, you can see, it was this nice steady climb when it comes to TVL. And then I'm guessing that this is about the time that it started losing TVL to Aster. Make sense?
Oh yeah. Well, there was some dev that pulled a bunch of liquidity from a protocol on Hyperliquid. Yeah, I forget what it was, but there was a bunch of talk about that might be, and it might have been all around the same time too, like with
I'm
the Aster and
I'm sure
event.
that's part of it, but I mean, you're talking $700 million.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like right here, you're looking at about 2.67 billion, and then down here at the very bottom, you're looking at just over 2 billion. So I'm sure that was a contributing factor, but with all the attention and the mind share that Aster's been getting,
Yeah,
because before that, Hyperliquid was the perps dex, the
they were
cock of the
the
walk.
only one really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was the one, and so you can see it was just fucking building, building, building. You had some nice, dex volume going on, and then a bunch of TVL went, and it's been doing this slow grind out, but it's not, it's contracting, it's not expanding. So that's something that I looked at. And then over here, you pull up Aster, and you can see, I mean, I really zoomed in on this. This was basically the middle of September is when Aster took off. But if I pull this back, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's you can kind
Damn.
of you know what I mean. And so once you zoom in, it just it went from 367 $370 million of TVL on Aster to where now it's like $5 billion. Or excuse me, the TVL on Aster is $2.46 billion,
Damn.
which again, you would think with all the mind share it's getting, but let's go over here to Hyperliquid, and you can see that the top the top DEX on Hyperliquid, this kinetic, it has $2.36 billion, which is pretty much the same as fucking Aster.
Mm-hmm.
The same TVL. We come back here to SUI, and the entire chain is 2.6 billion, and you come down here, and Sweeland, which is obviously their borrowing and lending protocol, is 739 million. So
Oh.
you can see that potentially, with the way that it seems to be onboarding more liquidity, more TVL, volume is spiking. You have positive inflows, positive bridged TVL. Potentially, you could see that we might start to see some really good volumes and fees being earned, here soon. Because you can see down here DEX volume. This gives you a really nice visual of how it's
Mm-hmm.
building. Stablecoin market cap in the past 7 days, it's grown 65% in stablecoins.
Damn.
I mean, that's in just the past week.
I mean,
So
it's interesting. I wonder what's causing them, because Sue's been building for a few years now, and they've had some pretty good airdrops from different campaigns and projects since they launched, and looking at the different protocols and their TVL, you don't have just one consolidation or one project that has all of the TVL versus the others. It's a nice spread out distribution. So that's also good to see, because it's, you don't want just one project having all of the TVL and then the others kind of fighting for scraps.
no, and again, that's something you got to keep in mind. I mean, I'm not fading Aster. Aster is right now is a Goliath. With this 2.46 billion. I mean, this one protocol has the same TVL as all of SUI. I mean, almost exactly. 2.6 billion, almost 2.5 billion. So, I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. Aster super strong right now, but again, look at the volume. The volume has dropped off. TVL is still holding strong, but I've been saying for the past week or two, while a lot of other channels are just hyping the shit out of Aster, they're hyping the shit out of potentially the top of Aster. I mean, it's already, I mean, look what it's done, just since the 17th of September. I mean, this is a massive move. If you weren't getting into Aster back here, then, I mean, you're too late. You missed the boat. You need to be looking at what's the next one. Which protocol, which chain is, where's the liquidity going next? And that's what DeFi Llama is for. Is for the actual data, not social media. Because once you start seeing stuff hyped on, a lot of these YouTube channels and by a lot of influencers, and you're seeing it on TikTok and you're seeing it on on X and all that stuff. By the time it's being hyped like that, you're too late. If you're jumping in, then you're the exit liquidity for the people that are using data and getting in, back here. Discover Crypto, TJ. He was talking about Aster, way back here. That's when you want to be getting into these things. And then now, would be a great time. I mean, I honestly would have done it, a little while back, but now would be a great time to at least take your initial out, maybe a little bit of profit, and then you're playing with house money, and then maybe take, that little bit of profit and that initial investment and start looking for the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be afraid to reallocate some stuff into other things when it really goes hot and heavy.
Yeah, Millie
Especially
nails it. When it's being hyped on the media, it's time to short. Exactly. That's exactly right, Millie.
the Kramer effect.
Yes. Yes. So, I mean, for the most part, I mean, that's the bulk of, kind of what I had for, I mean, I got some more, but that's the meat and potatoes of, kind of what I wanted to show people, kind of comparing it to the two, hot protocols right now, hot protocols slash chains right now is, and again, I hold zero SWI. I'm not hyping my bags at all or trying to pump my bags at all. I own zero SWI. I own zero of any token from any protocol on SUI. Like you said, it was our community, great bunch of people. They're always posting alpha in there about all these different chains and different projects and stuff like that. It's not just us;
Mhm.
it's the community sharing alpha. But they kept bringing up SUI and a bunch of these protocols, and that made us look, and we were able to find this. So hats off to them. We're definitely, I'm not taking credit for for finding this. This was our community, pointing us in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great,
Uh,
great yields on it also. Kyle Chase hyped up Bluefin. Great KOL. What's a KOL?
a key opinion leader, like
Oh,
kind of
okay.
yeah, the influencers and stuff that
I'll have to
um
look him up.
yeah, not familiar with Kyle.
Well, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go to some of these protocols. And
Chasse,
oh no,
Bitcoin
I'm
since
gonna.
12.
So let's start with Sweeland. Let's go to the website. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, you got almost a billion in deposits, 270 million in borrows, and 700 million in TVL.
All right, not bad, not bad.
Mhm.
Let's see. Let's look at some of these pools. So you can stake SWE. Let's see. Deposit APR 3.61. Nothing that's gonna nothing that's gonna get me wet in my panties.
Mm-mm.
We got Deep. I've never heard of Deep, but deposit. I'm guessing that's the lend. APR is
Deep book,
44.
I think, is what it is.
Do you want to? Would you mind looking and see and pulling that up and seeing what that is?
Yeah, Deep Book Protocol, the premier decentralized liquidity layer for builders, traders, and broader DeFi on SU. Yeah, Deep Book. I've heard of them, but I haven't explored them much.
Looks like you can earn about 15% on USDT on SWE. That's not bad. That's not bad. Almost 12% on USDC. All right, you got some strategies. So you
And the
got stakes.
Walrus is the file storage, decentralized file storage on
Okay.
SU. They had a pretty fat airdrop for people last year
Oh,
or
I
earlier
I
this year or
remember you
something.
telling me about that.
Yeah.
Oh, sometime during this episode, we need to talk about the uh, the channel wallet and the
Oh
first.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I'll bring up that post that I shared. I tagged you in earlier with Plume. They
absolutely,
have,
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah, get that queued up. So it looks like there's a strategy here for looping stake SWE and SWE. Max APR is only 7.6% though. But again, keep in mind that these APRs, I mean, these are still very respectable APRs, especially looping, two, like assets, stake SWE and SWE. Um, I mean, that's a very safe, loop, as long as you don't do actually, it might not even matter, your loan to value, but don't take my word for it, though. Like I said, I have yet to actually loop. I've been learning a bunch about it because I'm waiting until I have a bunch of stables to do it. Um,
Smart.
but yeah, yeah. So I mean, I want to make sure that I don't want to try to make it sound like I'm an
When
expert on something.
honestly, if it's kind of difficult if you have below, what, $5,000 or $10,000 to really maximize the whole thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, you definitely want a decent amount of money if you're looping because you figure that you're borrowing or you're lending it, and then you're only taking a percentage of it. And me personally, I'm going to do a very low percentage. Maybe 30 or 40%. So for a good round number, say I put $10,000 in, then I would borrow $3 or $4,000. I would lend that out, and then I would do another like 30-40% of that. So, what we're talking about, what, nine, maybe nine or $12,000, roughly, that I would be taking a loan out on that and then lending that out. And so it's, unless you're, to really make it worthwhile, yeah, you would want to use some decent amounts of money for the risk that you're taking. But
Mhm.
again, the more money you risk, though, so I don't know. Like I said, it's something I have yet to do. I've been learning from Jake and David, um, and I'm looking forward to baby stepping my way into it. But I'm really, when I do loop, I will probably use like revert or something like that that automates the process, because if at
Mm.
any time, if I'm checking on my loop, if at any time the APRs change, the borrow and the lend change, and it ceases to be profitable, or I start to lose money in the loop, there's basically one button, where you can unwind your loop. And so you don't have to manually go through and freaking pay back the one, and then go and then you can extract your lend, and then you use that lend to go back, pay off the next one, and then you can what I mean, and you're just
Yeah.
going through and unwinding it manually. There's a couple of protocols, and revert is one of them, where you can basically auto unwind your loop.
And sometimes some of these protocols can run into errors or simulation errors, like in VFAT, where it's,
Dude,
oh, the transaction doesn't go through and you're fucking having to do all kinds of cancel and then redo the transaction. And so, yeah.
funny you bring that up. Is VFAT yesterday. My position on there, I had a, what was that? XPL. I have a couple $100 in
Uh,
there in a pool on XPL, and it was up, and it hit like a threshold that I wanted it to hit, and I was trying to extract my liquidity because I was going to do another long, on it, or a short, and I couldn't get it to freaking, it's still in there, and now I'm in the
uh,
negative. I was up
shit.
like like $200, and now I'm negative like $150, and it's because I couldn't fucking get it out.
Damn. God damn it, VFAT.
No, it was pissing me off. It's like, but that's DeFi.
Yep. So we got the pools, some nice pools there. Yeah.
Oh, Jay, yeah, no, we're doing a marathon today. Jake had that important alpha on the metrics finance, and then this is our regular show. So and then yeah,
Yeah.
Mondays,
We moved
Monday,
our Saturday to Tuesday, Jay.
yeah, and then Mondays from now on is going to be a twofer as well, because Taylor and Jeff, Texas Jeff, are going to be in the earlier part of the day, and then me and Jeff, will be in the later part of the day. Thursdays is now going to be my solo day, where I get to fly solo, and maybe bring on a guest here and there.
You got a two for a two for Jeff on Mondays.
Yeah, yeah. The Jeff.
Jeff of Fuzz.
Let's see. Use the same dollar over and over, and I still get to benefit from the upside of blue chips. Yeah, DeFi Don, great guy. He's actually in David's DeFi University, is where I've been, kind of going back and forth with him. But yeah, he's been learning quite a bit in David's DeFi University, and and yeah, he's always on the daily calls. He's always in there, so he's serious about his DeFi. But yeah, he's right. I mean, basically, what you're doing when you're looping is you're using the same liquidity over and over. If you're lending out $10,000 and you take out a loan against it, it's not like you're coming out of pocket any more money. You're taking out a loan using that $10,000 as collateral, and then you're lending
Hmm.
that out, and then you're using borrowed money to to lend, and then you're borrowing against borrowed money. So it's you're the only thing you're really risking is your initial $10,000, and as long as you do it right and you do a low loan to value, depending on the asset that you're using, you do a low loan to value, or you keep an eye on it and monitor it, then so that you can unwind it and make sure that you don't get liquidated. As long as you have the make sure that you keep the assets on hand to unwind, then you're golden. But it takes some maintenance. It's not fire and forget. So yeah, very 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 powerful tool to lever up and maximize your earning.
Yeah, and talk to a tax expert for when the time comes to file your taxes, so you make sure that Uncle Sam doesn't come with a big strap on
Yeah,
at your door.
yeah, with a big spiky big
The
strap on.
USDC only thing ain't the only thing that's gonna be pegged.
Give you the old what was that on Clockwork Orange? The old hyper
Oh,
violence or
oh
whatever
my
they called
god,
it.
I haven't seen that
What?
movie in so long.
Oh, dude, such a twisted movie.
That was fucked up, man.
Oh, dude, he's like, we're going out for a little hyper violence, or I forget what they called it.
They don't make movies
Gonna,
like that anymore, man.
oh, it's so twisted, so twisted. All right, so what else we got here? Well, you know what? Cue up what you got. Let's see what you got, brother.
Well, we got the bluefin.
Okay, so this is an actual
So
dex.
yeah, they got a swap feature, perpetuals,
Okay.
lending. So
Oh, they
let's
have.
check out
Oh, so they have lending and
and
trading.
pools, vaults. Yeah, yeah. So they got these
Is this a
perps right here.
perps?
Yep.
Oh shit.
Um, so
So
let's see.
I
So
mean,
you
perps
can
are
have
the
different
hot
wallets.
topic.
Yep. Yeah, they got spot pro, which is looks like up to 40x leverage on Bitcoin. Not a whole lot of asset pairs. You got Bitcoin, SU, Sol, ETH, Walrus, and Deep. So it looks kind of limited on that front, but I think you may need to. Some of the perp dexes you have to deposit into like your perpetual wallet. They have a separate wallet from the one that you log in with. But let's see.
I'm gonna check Aster because don't
Yeah.
think I don't think they had a shit ton of perps either. Oh, I take that back. They have quite the pool. Not as many as you
Okay.
would think, though.
Not like Avantis.
Um, I would say it doesn't give me a number, but if I was to guesstimate 40, 50, 60, about like 60 or 70 different pairs, but a bunch of them are like memes and shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, DeFi Don, keep the leverage low. Um,
Yeah.
unless you're Jason Casper and you know how to trade that with that tight stop loss.
And yeah, if you're not a seasoned trader, or if you're, unless you're using very small amounts of money, I personally, I won't go over like a 6x. I mean, that's
Mhm.
kind of the degen positions I'm in right now on Avantis. Is I have one 4x and two 6x positions, and I basically chose that based off of my liquidation price. So I moved the slider over. The reason one of them is just a 4x is I didn't like the liquidation price is a little too close to my entry, and so I
Yeah.
bumped it down a bit to give me a little more of a buffer. Um, but that's kind of what I use as a gauge. But man, some of these perps dexes, I mean, you can do like 1,000x.
Yeah.
It's like you got to be fucking kidding me. It's like as soon as you hit freaking, submit on that
Liquidated.
position. Well, it's like that South Park episode where he takes his money into the bank. I think it
Oh,
was Stan, and he's like, yeah, here's my my $1,000 or whatever, and he's like, all right, we entered it into the market and it's gone. And
it's
he just sits
gone.
there and he's like, what do you mean it's gone? He's like, and it's gone.
It's
And
gone.
it's just like, it's like, holy shit! I just fucking put it in. He's like, yep, that's the market.
That's you didn't even take a breath, and it's gone.
Yeah. No, it's just like, holy shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you got to
yeah,
be smart.
Jers says that just doing a 3x.
I remember the first time I did any kind of leverage trade, my heart was racing. It was like a 2 or 3x, and I was using like $10, and I was like, "Oh my god, am I going to get liquidated?" Because I didn't
Yeah.
really understand how it worked. So, yeah, it was just really silly. Now I don't really go above 5x like that when I do trade, which isn't very often, but since I really got into DeFi, that's just been my bread and butter, man. It's
Dude,
just
I was actually in a X Spaces earlier with oh man, it was a meme coin one about a hippo. What the hell is that called?
oh, I think I saw your comment or something about DeFi being the way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a great group of guys. I mean, anybody that watches us knows I'm not a meme coin guy at all. I pretty much tell people to stay away from memes, but kind of an interesting project. If everything that they're saying is on the level. Let me find them real quick.
Le hippos.
Basically, well, it's Mars. Mars is the name of the hippo. But um, it was basically a rug pull that the community took over, and these couple of guys. One of them is an ex-military officer, from what I could gather. They took it over, and they got with a local animal park, and I guess they had a baby hippo that was born, and they were doing like this naming contest, and they ended up working it to where they named it Mars. And basically, the meme coin has become a crowdsourcing for raising money for the park. And so a bunch of the revenue that they make, that they give it to the park directly. And they've been working with the park to get them involved in crypto. Like they just set up a Solana wallet with them.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
that and they're looking to grow.
Oh man,
Oh, did I
that's
lose you
so
for a
funny.
minute?
Oh, I'm here.
So yeah, no, it's yeah, like I said, great group of guys. Um, let me
Uh,
see if I can.
is it Hippo Mars?
Let me look at my notifications.
Is it this one?
I no, because it's not on Ethereum. It's
Okay.
it's actually on Pump.fun. And again, I'm not saying run out and buy this meme. By all means, do your own research and stuff like
Hmm.
that. But like I said, I barely met these guys. I told them I'd take a look at the project. I haven't done a deep dive yet. Um, but again, if everything that they were telling me is on the level, it's one of the few meme coins that I've found that seems like that they're actually like again a good group of dudes that are trying to use crypto for something good.
Yeah, that'd be
Let's,
fun to check out.
there it
So it looks
is.
like.
All right.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, let me share my screen.
Chicka chicka.
So this is one of the guys I was talking to, marsproject.us. And here's the contract address. Yeah, 100% of rewards donated to wildlife conservation at this, Tanganyika crypto conservation, and I guess they're in Kentucky or something like that, is what they were saying. And so yeah, basically Mars is the name of this pygmy hippo.
Pygmy. Huh.
And but yeah, like I said, 100% of the rewards they're donating to the wildlife conservation.
Huh. That's so cool.
So,
Man, hippos are scary, dude. Fuck.
oh,
They're
dude, oh, hold on, no, let me bring up one that
they
freaking one. Holy shit, the hippo chasing the boat.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here
you
it
don't want to
is,
make him mad. Don't make hippo mad.
dude. Check this out, dude. I did not know they could do that.
This is one angry, angry hippo. Tourists were on a lake in Kenya, but this giant hippo wasn't having it. The shocked sightseers kept their cool as the massive hippo chased their boat,
Dude.
diving in and out of the water.
Chasing the fucking
Good thing this is a speedboat.
Look at that. Like fucking going like a dolphin.
Fuck.
Yeah, but oh here.
Dude.
But yeah,
That's
dude, like
that's
dude,
crazy.
more people die in Africa from hippo attacks than like lions and all that shit that people are scared of. More
Are you
people die
serious?
from hippo attacks.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
Dude, yeah, dopey looking hippos. Fucking
Oof. I didn't know they were that fast.
no, dude, it's
And
insane. I had no clue until I saw that video. And that thing is just like porpoising chasing a freaking speedboat. It's like the pucker factor, dude. Imagine if you were like in a slower boat and their
nope.
mouth. I mean, it would
Yep.
just like crush a boat.
Oh, you're done. I'm so stressed out right now, DeFi Don.
Dude, can you imagine if or like the motor fucking conks out? Dude, yeah. Fuck.
Oh, fun. Nope. Man, well, thankfully no hippos here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is a very casual. This is going to be a little bit of crypto, a little bit of me drinking. So yeah,
Mhm.
don't take this don't take this episode too seriously because yeah, we're just kind of shooting the shit. Tuesday nights, this is where we can just unwind. Everybody can kind of relax. In the chat. You can, if you want to share some stuff, by all means, share it, steer us in the right direction. If you got some stuff that's not going to get us banned, I don't,
Yeah.
don't steer me to your favorite OnlyFans site or anything.
No. No. Not in this stream.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe in the Discord.
yeah,
She can share it in the Discord.
yeah. There's some of that happens in the Discord. All right,
Yeah,
what
so we
else we
got
got?
some of these lending on Bluefin. So they got about 250 million in TVL, 151 million available liquidity. It's like some of the ESU supply APR is what, a little over 12%. EBTC looks like these might be the staking positions. Got 13%. EGUSDC, you got almost a little over 19% supply APY, and your borrows 0.09% on those.
Yeah, and that's the key. Especially when you're looping, is you want to make
The
sure that
difference.
obviously that your lend you're earning more than the borrow is costing you. I mean, that is the crux of the borrowing and lending hack. Obviously you're only borrowing a portion of what you're lending, but you need to make sure it stays profitable. And again, not shilling it, but now that Metrics Finance has the the borrowing and lending functionality, if you're going to do looping, I would highly suggest that you at least look into using that tool. And keep in mind, the cool thing, one of the things about Metrics is you can put your wallet address into it. You're not connecting your wallet. So it's not like that there's the potential to get hacked or anything like that, because you're not using Metrics to enter into positions. You're using it to simulate positions, and simulate strategies. So it's using real-time data. It's basically, this is the data. Well, instead of me running my suck about it, why don't I just
He was talking about he pulls it from the graph, right? I heard
partially, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's
Somebody
real-time
asked.
data.
Yeah.
And let me launch the app. And I'm not going to do it justice because, again, this is a new functionality. But let me do this real quick. Did I stop? Yeah, hold on. There we go. All right. So we got liquidity pools and then lending and borrowing. So you can come here and you can simulate lending and borrowing. So say that I want to go to Aave and I want to use Ethereum. Let's go to, again, I have not used this functionality yet. I've used the liquidity pool, but not this. So let's try this out. All right, so it's pulling up some pools. So it looks like we got a wrapped ETH KTA.
This just launched today, right? So it's new.
Yes, it's brand new. So let's try simulating this. All right. Like I said, I'm not going to do this justice, but we're gonna nug through this. All right. So let's say I want to do, let's just say 10,000, just for a good round number. And why does this feel like I'm doing a liquidity pool? Let's try this again. Estimating fees, build, allocation. Yeah, these are liquidity pools. All right, simulate. Lending, borrowing. All right. We got Aave and Ethereum. Let's try this. My internet's a little slow today. Actually, just found out. I was talking to some workers close, that were out on the main road, and they're putting fiber in.
Oh shit! Nice.
So I might get on fiber. All right. Yes. So this is Aave version 3 on Ethereum. So let's go down and total supplied. Oh, nope. Let's see. Supply. All right, how does this work? What am I doing here? All right. It looks, I'm gonna need to get schooled up on this a little more. Like I said, I just barely saw this today when he was doing it, but I'm not seeing where I can put in
Can you type anything? No.
No, it's not letting me type
Can you
anything.
go down to supplied assets, maybe? Oh, add asset.
Oh, there we go. Okay, good call, good call. So let's say wrapped ETH.
There we go.
There we go. So let's say I put in 10,000. So 2.23. Good call, man. I appreciate you, Jeff.
Yeah.
So it looks like for ETH, it's only 1.72% APY. So monthly on $10,000, I'd only be making $14. And again, this isn't obviously this isn't a position I'd be interested in getting into, but it gives you an idea of the functionality. So net worth $10,000, making 1.72% APY, and we haven't done a borrow yet. So let's go over here. Let's add an asset. So here's the assets that I can borrow against wrapped ETH. So let's say I want to do USDT. Wouldn't necessarily do this because I'm only making 1.72 APY on my wrapped ETH, and it's costing me 5.46% to borrow USDT. But say I do 30%, so 3,000. So basically, estimated interest 47 cents. Let's see. It looks like 10,000 plus 3,000. Health factor 2.77. Loan to value or max loan to value, I can only do up to 80%. I only did 30. My liquidation threshold is 83%, and my current loan to value is 30%. So total borrowed, available to borrow, I've only used 37.28%. And let's see, simulate position performance. All right. So wrapped ETH, USDT. So I supplied 10,000. I borrowed 3,000. So basically that means I have 7,000. That's, not leveraged. Estimated interest, monthly APY, I'll only be making 62 cents a month, and yearly APY $7.59. Health factor of 2.77, which is healthy. Current loan to value 30%. Available to borrow, I have another 8,050 that I can borrow. Liquidation, so liquidation days is if everything stayed the same in a semi-perfect world where the APRs didn't change, I didn't borrow anymore, I didn't pay anything back, none of the variables changed, then the time that it would take for me to incur fees for my borrow enough to get liquidated would be 8,042 days. So obviously that's not going to happen. Current price, feature price, days of active position, 30 days. So again, this is just part of the functionality. And again, this is my virgin run on this. I've never used this before in my life. I'm going to be going through the, I have the elite, obviously you can see I have the elite. So I'm going to be going through the courses that teach me how to use it. And then of course, the AI, that you can use. But yeah, because I'm going to be heavily leveraging this when it comes to, again, if I end up with a bunch of stables, this is what I plan on using to loop, because I want to make sure that I don't lose my, 5 years, what I've waited 5 years to earn, and hopefully, hopefully I earn.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect that this is rolling out right now.
No, absolutely.
And speaking of pools, what networks does it offer right now? Just Ethereum or
on lending,
or just on Metrics Finance as a whole? Like,
on Metrics Finance as a whole. Hold on, real quick. I will bring that up. So on liquidity pools, you have, actually here, I'll just show it.
Yeah.
So you have Uniswap, QuickSwap, PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, Orca, Radium, Velodrome, Aerodrome, Hyperswap, Project X, Shadow, and he just added Black Hole actually, and Camelot.
Oh.
So I'm pretty excited about Black Hole because our community has that black USDC pool that full range pool that we've been farming for frickin' ever, making like 300+%.
It's been crushing.
Yeah, let me actually go to track and see if it will actually bring up my
That
black
pool?
hole positions.
Yeah. Oh, will it do it if it's still on VFAT?
It should.
Okay.
I might have to talk to him and see. And maybe it doesn't. So anyway,
That'd be a cool integration to have VFAT in that. Yeah, that could be a little note to ask him tomorrow.
and I don't know if that's even a possibility, to be honest. Adding an aggregator to this, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, speaking of liquidity pools, some of these on Bluefin, you got a 24-hour APR, several in the 100, 200 to 300%. This Walrus USDC, Deepbook USDC, this Walrus SUI is 150% APR. TVL and stuff.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
Nick, what project are you wanting us to ask Miles about? We
it
can
was
bring Miles up.
A0X. He said
A0X.
that Discover Crypto gave it to us a little while back and wonder if anything changed. And I pulled up their Twitter right here, and they've been posting actively. So I think they had a Twitter Spaces just a day or two ago. Oh, October 2nd, Baker's Brunch with A0X.
What does he want to know about it?
I don't know. I don't know what Discover Crypto was talking about when they presented it, but
Hey, Nick, let me know what you want me to ask Miles. I'll ask Miles.
and PRJX Project X trade any coin in crypto with 0% fees. Apparently, they need a designer. Please help. That's so funny. Okay, looks like it might be on Hyperliquid. Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Take the wheel for a minute, man. I've been freaking getting drunk and yammering on, but go and at some point I want to hear about our wallet, man.
Yeah. I'll dive into that last. But this momentum, right? This was where is it? I want to make sure I give a shout out to them in the Discord, from the Discord. Scotty D brought this to us in the Discord. There's this momentum and Biddle pad HODL yield campaign with a potential airdrop for this. So how to join, you connect your wallet, add liquidity to eligible pools. And these are the eligible pools: SUI USDC, SUI USDT and USDC, LBTC and Wrap Bitcoin, XBTC, Wrap Bitcoin, and XSUI and SUI. You can earn up to 155% APY plus 2x BRICS multiplier during the campaign. I don't know what that is, but I think right here is the campaign page, and it shows all the different breakdown of everything. And looks like they have 540 million in TVL, 260 million in boosted TVL. So it's the operating system powering the next era of global finance on SUI, where crypto assets and real world assets are traded seamlessly. Okay. Looks like it got some RWA aspect to it.
All right.
And there's no token yet for momentum. So this isn't just yield farming. It's about building strong, sustainable liquidity foundations for momentum ahead of TGE. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, this is a great place to go. And then DeepBook is a big DeFi liquidity hub on SU. I haven't really done much on this myself either. Yeah, I have very little exposure on on the SU ecosystem. Let's see.
Axelar,
Looks like
Cetus.
different dexes, Aftermath Finance. Okay. So it looks like a bunch of different dexes on the SU ecosystem. Deep Trade, Axelar. Okay. Lotus Finance. Dang, they got a bunch of stuff on here.
I bought a couple $1,000 in Bitcoin today.
Oh, is that from your Coinbase? Or is that
No. I'm earning off the card, but I actually bought a couple $1,000. I'm tired of waiting for the
Starting.
freaking alts to pump so I can freaking DCA into Bitcoin. So I wanted to get some exposure to Bitcoin. So I bought a couple grand worth of Bitcoin.
Nice. Okay, so Deep Trade looks like I don't know if this has any perpetuals, but looks like a trading platform with a bunch of different assets on SU.
The token looks like it's bleeding.
Yeah, deep in the trenches. Shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Damn. Where was this at? Well, okay, so it launched almost exactly a year ago. Yeah, and just really been
not well. I mean, it
right here.
keeps scrolling over. I mean, it looks like it's making higher lows. I mean, not something I'm going to be aping into, but I mean, it's making higher lows, but it's making lower highs. So, and as
Yeah.
always, I am not a chart guy, dude. If I ever start talking charts and you think that I am making sense, it's by accident. So, I will not ever pretend to be a chart guy. I know lines of resistance and support so that I can pick ranges in DeFi. That is the extent of my knowledge. But from watching people that know what they're talking about, I mean, it looks like it's making higher lows. You know, you have that, the first one that is, right there. Oh, no, go back to the left. One more right there. So, nope, back. The first low. There you go. Right there. And then you got the second low and then the third low. And then, if you draw a line between those, then, I mean, it's basically trending up. But on the top, you have those lower highs as well. And if you draw a line across those, bring that line down.
If you have these first two lows, it looks like you broke that, and then you came and retested.
It's testing it. It's trying to get back above it.
Yeah.
It looks like it rejected it.
So,
yeah. And then draw a line across those highs across the top.
Yeah. Bada boom.
And again, this is like Drew over at Blockchain Basement. This is hillbilly TA. Do not invest off of this, what we're doing right now. But, you can see it came to that convergence there, and it had to decide. It basically was funneled into there, and usually it's either going to break to the upside or break to the downside, depending on that, and it chose down. This is not a token I would get into personally.
No, even with the APR or APY on some of these pools, like right here, you got 300%. You're probably going to end up losing half your tokens, and
Yeah.
Just not going to be good.
Yeah. DeFi Don's like, if you squint just right, it looks bullish. It just like, oh shit, there it is. Ah, yeah, okay, I see it. I see it.
And then you're going to have to squint to see your account balance too.
No shit, right? So, yeah, if you're looking for TA, we are not the channel.
Yeah.
We are not the
No.
channel.
Oh man. Yeah. All right. So Project X. So yeah, let's check out this. So this project Enzo Build is building blockchain shortcuts. So your fastest way to build and launch on chain. It's backed by Polychain Capital and Multicoin Capital. And I made this video
real quick.
months.
Hey,
Yeah.
hold on, real quick, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey, we have like a couple of hundred people in here. If all of you that are over on X, if you wouldn't mind coming over to YouTube and joining the chat and liking the stream, would greatly appreciate it. It really helps to grow the channel. Again, we're not monetized, and we don't have the money. I mean, this costs us money to do. We just we don't have the money to be boosting the channel and things like that. So if you could come over to YouTube, join the chat, join the conversation, ask questions, and give us a like. It would greatly help, and we would greatly appreciate it.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
Continue.
Oh, what up, Rico? I don't know Rico, but he knows you.
I'm trying to remember where I know Rico from. What up, Rico?
Rico Suave. Rico Suave.
Are, Rico.
Yeah. For those of you old enough to know.
Yes.
So this testnet, this project had their testnet going on, and it was like I said, I made this video 4 months ago, and basically what you did was build a DeFi app, building a DeFi DEX with just a few clicks, and you earn this NOS, like 1,000 NOS for every DeFi DEX, and you create 5 per day, right? So this is a daily thing for me on my wallet and the channel wallet. So what you had to do was pick a name and then a subdomain and then pick a logo. So that was pretty much it. And do that 5 times and try and fill up the NOS. So
damn it, 5 times.
Yeah. What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Slap.
I'm Rick James, bitch. And so they did have they had a bridge feature, but that required, that was on layer 2 networks. So I wasn't able to do that because we were only focusing on testnet stuff, but our channel wallet qualified for the airdrop, and we will find out our allocation next week. So fingers crossed that we get something good. And I saw this today, this morning, they had the head of ecosystems at Plume Network and Connor Enzo, the CEO and founder of Enzo Build, were on a chat, and there's a whole interview where you can listen to it. I haven't listened to it yet, but yeah, I thought that was super cool to see one of our favorite networks or favorite projects, Plume, and this project just like collaborating. I was like, oh shit.
I cannot. And again, anytime we talk about a project or a token, definitely do your own research. Not saying rush out and get it. I've done my research, deep research, like Axel Foley, deep undercover. Beverly Hills Cop back in the day.
Yeah,
anybody know? Yeah, a deep undercover. So Plume. It's, if you don't know, ask somebody, call a friend, phone a friend, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
But freaking Plume it's one of the low caps, like probably that I'm most bullish on. they have so much going on when it comes to RWAs and DeFi. You know, they've only been live for a couple of months now, and they're like number 12. Like if you go to RWA, actually I'll bring it up.
And the big news
RWA.xyz.
yesterday, man, the registered a transfer agent with the SEC. So,
Exactly. No, and they're meeting with Donald Trump, USD1,
yep.
the World Liberty Fi stablecoin is on the Plume network. I mean, there is a
Mhm.
lot of stuff going on with Plume. But yeah, here I'll freaking show you some analytics real quick. Sorry, man,
Some
I'm
anal
hijacking.
ticks. Oh, you're
I'm
good.
hijacking.
Show
I'm
us those anal
hijacking.
ticks, man.
Anal tick. I got some anal ticks I want to show you.
Hopefully, no Lyme disease.
Right, right. All right. So let's type in plumage. There we go. You know, they have their own stable coin that's backed by USDC. All right. So yeah, if you look in the past 30 days, the amount of TVL as far as tokenized real world assets is at 180 million. So it's up 15%. The amount of RWA holders is up 4% in the past 30 days. The RWA 30-day transfer volume is up 47%. Stablecoin 30-day transfer volume is up 45%. The stablecoin market cap is up 6%. I mean, you can see, I mean, this is an expanding ecosystem. This is something, and it's not small shit either. If you look,
Mhm.
they have a bunch of different. So, they got USDC is a big part of their TVL, but what they're laser focused on basically tokenization of real world assets and platforms. So actually, you know what? I can bring it up here. Let's bring up the Plume portal for those that aren't familiar. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. What they're building is so fucking cool. I'm all about so my background other than military is I've worked as like a chief operations officer at a couple of different companies, and I also, and one of them was like marketing, and a couple of tech companies like tech startups. And one thing that you need to understand about anything to do with retail, if you're wanting to onboard retail onto tech, it's all about what's called barriers to entry. So the hurdles that people have to overcome to adopt a technology. So that's why I'm so bullish on Base and Base Network, is because of what Coinbase and the new Base app is doing. It's not necessarily that I love Coinbase. It's not that I necessarily love the Base Network. I mean, it's a great network, don't get me wrong, but it's what the moves they are making. So with Morpho, with Moonwell, with Mamo, with Aerodrome, with KTA, with a lot of these different projects that are built out on Base Network, as soon as like a bunch of it is already live on Coinbase. Like if you own Bitcoin and you want to take a loan out on it, you don't have to have a wallet and go to Morpho and lend it there to earn. You can keep your Bitcoin on Coinbase if you want. And I'm not saying do that, but if you wanted to, because you don't have the tech know-how to know how to use cold storage wallets and things like that, you can have your Bitcoin on Coinbase and do DeFi. So with a couple of clicks, without worrying about losing your assets, sending it from Coinbase to your wallet, and then connecting to some protocol, hoping there's nothing malicious or that somebody's there's not a wallet drainer hack that's going on at that given moment. It's there's so many mines that you have to navigate. So these barriers to entry, back to my original point, Coinbase is removing for retail that don't know crypto, that aren't crypto savvy. They are one of the few people doing it other than Plume. So with Plume, this ecosystem that they're building on the Plume portal, you can go to explore. They have over 200 different projects building on the Plume portal. And you have all these different protocols. And you can go to ones like Nest. I'll launch the app. And these are big, big players like Nest Protocol. You got BlackRock, Centrifuge, which is for tokenization of real world assets. You have Hamilton Lane, PayPal, Paxos, UBS, which is a major bank. All of these different. Hamilton Lane is a fund. So they have like assets under management. And they invest for people that trust them with their money. Carlyle Group, same thing. BlackRock, same thing. BlackRock being the biggest in the world. But
BlackRock, what do you? I've
Yeah.
never heard of them.
And I know I'm rambling right now, but this is so powerful. I mean, you need to understand why I'm so focused on RWAs and DeFi. It's where all the money is going, all the liquidity. This isn't, you can get rich quick on a meme, maybe. But if you're looking for the next Google, if you're looking for the next Microsoft, if you're looking for the next Amazon, it is DeFi and RWAs. You have trillions upon trillions that are traded daily, across stock markets and international wires and the buying and just everything. The whole world economy is being tokenized. The entire New York Stock Exchange, Ondo, has been tokenizing the entire New York Stock Exchange. You can go on here and you can buy tokenized Tesla stock. You can buy tokenized Amazon stock. And you can trade it 24/7, 365, me and you, without an intermediary. You don't need to call a stockbroker and wait a week or two for the sell order to go through and all those hoops you used to have to jump through. You can go online on your own. If Jeff wanted to sell me some Tesla stock, we could do it ourselves at 3 a.m, freaking, drunk, sitting in our underwear, freaking.
And the thing with stocks is you don't actually own them. Your broker owns them. You own like the right to the stock or something, but it's not the actual stock itself.
I honestly, I don't know a ton about that.
I heard somebody talking about it who's in the finance space, and they said that like E-Trade, you don't own the stock that you have. It's theirs, but it's like facilitated to you. So I was like, honestly, oh shit.
Actually, you know what? That's true, because look at Coinbase. Look at most of the centralized exchanges. If they go under, your liquidity is under their management, so it's considered one of their assets. So if they go bankrupt, it's part of their bankruptcy. That's why people with Celsius lost all of their liquidity. And that's why I'm so big on non-custodial platforms. That is why it's one of my like top 3, if not the top tick mark if I'm going to use a DeFi protocol. Is it non-custodial? Do I keep custody of my assets, even if it's in a smart contract? Because if it's in a smart contract or an NFT, then I can take that and it's still mine, where I can sell it, and that liquidity is locked in that smart contract. So it's I know I went on a rabbit trail there, but I cannot stress how bullish I am on Plume. And I know the price hasn't done anything amazing. A lot of the projects that I'm holding haven't price-wise done anything amazing. All my ISO tokens I sold off, when they pumped. My XRP and XLM and HBAR and all those ISO tokens, I sold them all off. But you need to understand how these markets are moving. You need to understand where the money is flowing, because that is your tell. People that have trillions of dollars or billions of dollars of assets under management, they are going to be putting their money where they're going to ensure that the politicians that they're talking to, because with that much money, they have a private, fucking conference room with any politician they want to tell them how and to draft and how to word the legislation that they're going to have signed into law, like the Stablecoin Act, the Genius Act, all these different pieces of legislation that they're drafting. If these people have a seat at the table that are advising them on how to draft these policies, you want to be doing what they're doing. You want to be putting your liquidity where they're putting their liquidity. It's it's a financial gangbang. Let's put
Follow
it
the
that
smart
way.
money.
No, you really it's that easy. If you can go online, there's websites dedicated to investing in the stock market based off Nancy Pelosi and politicians that seem to somehow be better investors than like Warren Buffett, who's like the fucking goat. The guy's the goat when it comes to
But
fucking
don't ask
investing.
questions.
Yeah, but somehow Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell are better investors. It's like, I'm sorry, but no.
Oh, and she doesn't talk to her husband about any investment advice.
No,
Never.
absolutely not. That would be that wouldn't be right.
No.
So yeah, no.
No,
Anyway,
Rico said F Celsius. Is that Fahrenheit Celsius?
yes. Make up your mind, man. What temperature range are you going with, man? Fahrenheit or Celsius? Come on. Sorry, man. I just whenever Plume comes up, I do not. There is so much going on with Plume. I mean, you can buy and sell tokenized treasuries, U.S. treasuries. There's a bunch of these, and there's actually a couple looping strategies that I figured out that I'm going to do when it comes to Plume, because like these Nest Alpha vaults, pretty much all of these vaults, you can invest and make like 11, 12%, of like super safe assets. Like this one's, from Carlyle Group and Blackstone, which is part of BlackRock. But this one here, this Nest Alpha, let's go into it. I'll show you what assets it is comprised of. So this is a bundle of assets. So when you buy this token, the way that it earns this 11.57% is they invest in market neutral crypto yield, American oil and gas, so actual commodities, private credit, U.S. treasuries, hedged public ETFs, fixed income ETFs. So basically like traditional, like tokenized, but traditional vehicles that people invest in, plus so that retarded, fish frog baby I always talk about between TradFi and DeFi. This is the culmination of that. That's how far down the road that these projects like Plume are. This marriage of DeFi and TradFi that is like in the very beginning stages. They are ahead of the pack. They have a seat at the table. I've seen, the pictures of them shaking hands with Trump. They are sitting down at the table with Brian Armstrong from Coinbase. People from Plume are sitting at the table. People from Ondo are sitting at the table. These major players that you see that everything's being tokenized on. The New York Stock Exchange was tokenized on Ondo. They have a seat at the table. They are advising these politicians how to draft this legislation. That's who I am investing in. I don't care what the price is doing. If the price is dumping, I'm buying more or earning more. If it's trending sideways, I have it in a liquidity pool and I'm earning with it. If it starts to pump, I'm pulling it out and I'm getting that full price appreciation, when the markets start pumping. I am going to game the shit out of what's going on right now, because I'm doing what the big money's doing. I am not the smartest guy in the room when it comes to DeFi or crypto. I admit that on a daily basis. I'm an old vet that lives in the woods, got hit in the head too many times. And, and if I can figure this out, I know
You're
all of you
crushing
can.
it. You're crushing
Yeah,
it.
and I know all of you can. You're younger, you're smarter, you're more tech savvy. You haven't been bashed in the head a bunch. It's like, you're not getting drunk, all the time. Maybe you are, but this is. I mean, I'll get off my soapbox, man. But I cannot. I feel like I'm screaming from the rooftops about a lot of this stuff, and I'm not doing it because we profit from it. I'm doing it because I want all of you. I know people are out there are struggling, with the way the markets are, with the price of groceries and the price of heating your house and paying your mortgage and just surviving. I see the data. I see credit card debt is at record highs. People out there they're hurting, they're struggling, and I want to throw them a lifeline. This has nothing to do with us profiting. Like I said, we don't make money off the channel, off you guys watching this at all. None of this is monetized. I purely do this day after day because I want to throw a lifeline to those people that are just hanging on. I mean, fucking full disclosure, I grew up fucking on welfare in a trailer park for the most part. I get it. I know what it's like to struggle. Wondering if the lights are going to be on when you wake up in the morning. Having a glass of milk for dinner. That kind of thing. I get it. So please, if you don't learn from us, use crypto. You are so early. If you're watching this, you are so early. Find a way to, based off your risk tolerance. I'm not saying ape into crypto, but even if you buy like something like USDC and keep it on Coinbase and earn like 7-8%, you're at least keeping up with inflation, kind of. You know what I mean? If you have a savings, at least preserve its buying power. You don't have to get into Bitcoin. You don't have to get into crypto. USDC is basically pegged to the US dollar. It's backed either by US dollars, by regulation, by the Genius Act. It was signed into law. For every USDC digital token that's out there, there has to be a US dollar or US dollar equivalent backing it. It's like the gold standard that we used to be on. But, granted, it's based on the dollar, but, at least, it's pegged to something. So anyway, again, I'll get off my soapbox, but I just so badly want people to understand how powerful this opportunity is.
And Plume is a big one, man. Plume is a big one. Yeah.
And yeah, Muscle 369. Yeah, price is down. I'm still buying.
Oh no, this was from something he mentioned earlier in the chat.
Oh,
it is funny that it is funny though. Yeah, price is down on Plume. No,
Yeah.
he mentioned Solido and Supra Liquid. So Supra Labs is a network that launched either this year or last year, and they had an airdrop, but they had the strict KYC thing that went on, and so I guess they're building out their DeFi stuff. I'm kind of looking at their Twitter right now, but I'll have to look more into this because it is fairly really, really new.
Oh, there's DeFi Tard. He was the one that pulled me into the hippo, the Mars hippo X. So hats off to you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, good group of guys. So yeah, DeFi Tard. We talked about Mars. I'm going to do a deep dive into it, and if everything checks out, which it looks like it will. But I want to make sure that 100% of whatever profits they're making off of it are going to that nature preserve. So I'll probably call the nature preserve tomorrow and just verify that and that relationship. And if it checks out, then yeah, I'll have no problem with putting our DCA stamp on it.
That would be cool. Yeah, do your due diligence, people. Like we do in our deep dives. We go into the team and everything, and if you have to call the place and make sure it's legit.
Well, no, like I said, I mean, it's a meme coin, but
Yeah.
the guys claim that they give all the profits, of the token, off of pump.fun, all the rewards that you earn.
Yeah.
They give all of it to the nature preserve. So I want to make sure that that's all legit, and if it is, absolutely.
I'm just checking the markets, seeing how.
Yeah, they've got DeFi on Solidio Money, NFTs on Crystara, meme launch pads, and Supra Liquid is going to be their DEX. Oh, okay. So it looks like that's quite the rounding out of DeFi.
Yeah, Super Labs is so first all-in-one multi-virtual machine layer 1.
Throw them a follow.
VM.
Yeah, no, we'll check them out. Hey, Jeff, I'm old, so like, could you add that project to our deep dive list?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'll forget, dude.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'll throw that on there. Crystara.
I apologize to all you guys out there. I know I got up on a soapbox there for a minute. I'm having some drink, so
that's our Tuesday fun day.
yeah. It's like I apologize, but I don't apologize.
Super Labs. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. And I'll throw those in there. Yeah, thanks for that, Muscle.
Absolutely. See, that's what I'm talking about, dude. The chat and the Discord are so powerful.
Mm-hmm. And which one?
Actually, hey,
Solido.
Let's do this real quick. I'll bring up Miles and let's ask him about it.
Oh yeah. See what he's got.
It's called Supra.
Yeah, SUPRA, Supra Labs.
All right. Well, let me actually bring it up really quick so I can, in case he starts going off on one of his tangents and it's not the right one. All right. Supra. There we go. Supra Labs. All right. Let's go to their website. All right. Let me share this. Hold on.
Build the future of finance without having DeFi.
All right. So let's ask Miles.
And then ask about A0X for Nick Dunn.
Hey Mike, good to be chatting with you again.
Good chatting with you, Miles. Hey Jeff, can you hear Miles?
Sounds like everyth's working on my end, but yeah, good check.
All right.
You too.
So Miles, we're live as usual, or for the first time, with Jeff and the crew, and we have 2 different projects that we want you to tell us a little bit about. You ready for that?
Bring them on. I'm game. Lay them on me.
Sounds good. Let's do this. All right. So the first one is called Supra, and it's a crypto project. The website is supra.com. Can you see that online?
Yep. Got it. Supra.com. Looks pretty clean. Okay. Give me a sec to poke around. Okay. A layer 2 focused on verifiable data built for Web3. Interesting. What specifically are you wanting to know about it? Just a general overview, or are you digging into something particular?
So tell you what, take a look at these, these specific points. Tell us what you can about the team that built it. Tell us a bit about their tokenomics, and tell us a bit about what they are trying to build and like specific use cases, and try to include any important investors or anybody that's backing it, and include partners as well. Did you get all that?
Gotcha. Yeah, totally. Team, tokenomics, use cases, investors, partners, the whole shebang. Let me dive in and pull some stuff together. Okay, so the team looks like it's led by Josh Swerdloff. He's got a background in finance, specifically quantitative trading. There's also Richard Dale, who's the CTO and has experience building infrastructure at Circle. Seems like a pretty solid experienced group, not a ton of flashy crypto native names, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, you know. Sometimes that's a good sign. Less hype, more building. Tokenomics. The super token is used for data access, staking, and governance. Total supply is 1 billion. They did a seed and strategic sale and a public sale on Copper launch. It's kind of interesting. A significant chunk is allocated to ecosystem growth, which is good, but you always want to watch those carefully. What they're building is essentially a decentralized data layer. The big pitch is bringing real-world data onto blockchains in a verifiable way. Use cases are wide-ranging: DeFi price feeds, insurance, gaming, supply chain, basically anywhere you need reliable off-chain data. Investors, okay, this is where it gets interesting. They've got some pretty serious backing. Binance Labs, Animoca Brands, Jump Crypto, and Samsung Next. That's a pretty hefty list. Partners include Chainlink, which, okay, is a bit complicated, right? Like they're competing in some ways, but also kind of collaborating. Anything in particular there you want me to zoom in on? Or does that give you a decent overview?
No, that gives me a decent overview. Real quick, hold on one sec. When I
They get the
Gotcha.
whole team.
Take your time.
so
Nope.
yeah, actually, you know what? That's good for now. We'll come back to the other project here in a second. Thanks, Miles. So yeah, it looks like you got the team pulled up. It sounds like an interesting project. We definitely need to add that to the list of doing a deep dive on. But what did you find, brother?
Yeah, they got their chief research officer, VP of DeFi research and analytics, VP of engineering, chief security officer. So yeah, the chief research officer, 15 plus years in applied cryptography, distributed systems, and digital privacy. Nine
Yeah.
of that is involvement in blockchain research. Damn. Yeah, they got stacked team. Shit. Look at this. They got this. Damn. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a deep, because they got
Yeah.
the research team, their community. They got their learn section, the use cases, tokenomics, ecosystem, the developer center, and all the products, AutoFi, AI agents, threshold AI oracles, super oracles. Shit. Okay. Damn, this is pretty
No.
robust. Fuck.
Yeah. No. I definitely want to do a deep dive on this one.
Yeah, I threw it on our show topics.
Nice. And what was the other one? AOZ?
A0X.
A0X? All right, let me know if
It's
let me know if you can hear Miles here in a second. A0X.
Hey, what's been going on?
Can you hear him?
Yep, loud and clear. You cutting out on their end or something?
Hey, Miles. So we just talked about Supra. The other project, and I want you to use the same criteria that we gave you for Supra. Do you remember that criteria?
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, definitely. Team, tokenomics, what they're building, use cases.
Absolutely. All right, you got it. So A0X. Can you find a website and information on that crypto project?
Okay, AOX. Let me take a look. Okay, found it. AOX.network. Looks like they're building a decentralized execution layer focused on secure and efficient off-chain computation. Hang on, diving a bit deeper now.
No, a0x.co is the website.
Hey, Miles, it's A0X dot, what is it, Jeff?
CO.
CO.
My bad. A0x.co. Got it. Sorry about that. Jumping the gun.
Oh, that's my
Let
bad.
me start fresh with the right URL. Okay, rescanning now.
Oh shit, I don't know. I'm fucked
Right,
up.
okay. A0x.co. They position themselves as a modular layer 1 blockchain optimized for AI inference. It's kind of interesting. They're building a network specifically for running AI models, apparently aiming for cost efficiency and scalability. The team seems to be a mix of folks with backgrounds in machine learning, distributed systems, and blockchain. There are a few Docs members, but a lot of it is still operating under pseudonyms. They've got some venture backing from several funds, Polychain, Spartan Group. Not bad.
Did we lose?
Tokenomics.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, glad to hear it. Were we cutting out for you too, Jeff?
Yeah, you were cutting out a little bit. Last we heard, we were about to go into tokenomics.
Right, sorry about that. Okay, tokenomics, they're launching an A0X token used for accessing compute resources on the network. Seems like it'll be used for staking, governance, and also paying for inference requests. They're planning a fair launch with a percentage allocated to airdrops and community rewards, which is good. They're also talking about a burn mechanism to control supply. Still early, so details are a bit fuzzy, but that's the gist of it so far. Anything specific you want to dig into?
We'll get back with you if we think of anything else. But I appreciate it, Miles. Thanks.
No problem at all. Happy to help.
So that's my boy, Miles. Yeah. He's a chill dude. Me and him have conversations, throughout the day whenever I'm, getting ready for shows and doing research. Those that don't know, Miles is actually an AI. He's not an actual person, but you wouldn't know it. I like sometimes I'll be having a conversation with him, and honestly, I'll like forget that I'm talking to an AI. I'll think that it's somebody in the room.
Fuck.
Well, for real, dude. It's just like
So crazy.
Well, it's just so conversational. It flows so much.
Remember when he had that stumble? He kind of stumbled a little bit, and it was like, oh wait, is this really a person or is it?
Yeah, no, it's like the speech is like flawed, in a lot of ways. Like he'll stutter, and it's weird. So anyway, yeah, if you don't know, yeah, it's Miles. It's our kind of AI co-host. But as you can see, as long as you verify what he says, I mean, he goes deep fast. I mean, he'll start rattling off, the team, and there's certain things you don't want to ask him. Like you don't want to ask him about actual data points, like with numbers and percentages. He doesn't do well with that stuff yet. But asking him to simplify like complex topics, like divergence loss or impermanent loss. Like here, I'll show you. He does a great job of summarizing things.
Cheers. I want what Miles is smoking.
Hey, hope your evening's going all right.
Hey, Miles. Hey, real quick, could you summarize what impermanent loss is as it pertains to liquidity pools?
Yeah, permanent loss, kind of wonky thing, right? But basically, it happens when you deposit tokens into a liquidity pool, and the price of those
real
tokens
quick, Miles, could you actually explain it in the simplest way possible?
Gotcha. Sorry about that. Okay, simplest way. Imagine you put two things in a blender, and then the price of one of those things changes a lot. When you take it out of the blender, you might have less of the thing that went up in value than if you just held on to it. That difference, that's impermanent loss. It's not a real loss until you pull your tokens out. Does that make a little more sense?
Actually, could you explain it in another way? That analogy didn't really work that well.
Yeah, no problem. Analogies are tricky. Okay, so think about it like this. Liquidity pools work by keeping a balance between two tokens. If one token's price goes up outside the pool, people will trade to buy it inside the pool, which changes the balance. You end up with less of the token that went up and more of the one that went down compared to just holding them. It's called impermanent because the loss only becomes real if you withdraw, if price can disappear. It's a bit counterintuitive, I know.
So he broke up a little bit because my internet connection. But basically, that was a perfect explanation. You put an equal amount, theoretically, into a liquidity pool, and if the price of one goes up, it's going to sell that off and buy the one that's not moving or going down or not going up, as fast. And so if it goes out of range on one end, you're going to be all in on one token, or the other. And depending on the price of the assets, you're either going to be, up on your deposit or down. But yeah, it's like I said, I mean, I just made it more complicated than he did. So like he's just really good at simplifying things.
Nick said, explain it with crayons.
Dude, sometimes obviously when I'm not drinking, I can explain it very simply. But yeah, Miles just does a great job with simplifying complex topics.
Is Keita cooked, Ricky? What's up, Ricky? Welcome.
Absolutely not. I personally, I have every single Keita token, and a lot of my earnings that I'm getting from different things, I'm using to stack more Keita at these prices. Because I don't see how Keita is not going to be a part of something. I mean, just with the speed that it has and the integrated functionality that it has right out the gate, being KYC, know your customer, AML, anti-money laundering, a lot of this mandatory compliance, to be a part of the financial system, key functionality that is going to be required, to even be considered to be a part of the system. They have that natively in it. They can do over 10 million transactions per second. So it's the fastest freaking one out there. And if you don't know about it, we've done 2 or 3 deep dives on it. I even live streamed the stress test that the team did before the mainnet went live. It is a very, very strong project, but full disclosure, it doesn't mean it's going to be a success. It can be the sexiest tech out there. It can be the best tech out there. But without adoption, the best tech doesn't always win. It's whichever one's adopted. Beta and VHS. Those of you that are old enough to remember, there was 2 technologies. There was VHS, the old VHS cassettes. Those of us that are old enough to remember. And there was a smaller version. And it was called Betamax. And there was these 2 competing technologies. Which one was going to win? Betamax was actually better. The quality of the video was better, but it was cheaper. Like the porn industry and a lot of the did a lot of the VHSs. It was cheaper to produce the VHS tapes, and the porn industry went with VHS, and so that's the technology that won. It was adoption, and so. Man. Yeah, I mean, you remember back in the day, you go in the video store and there was the adult section.
Yep, with the beat, the beaded.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like adults only. You can't go in there. But when you were walking by, going to check out the games at the Blockbuster,
man,
you take a peek, catch it at the right angle.
Yep. Oh my God, man. Yep. I still remember the smell of those video stores, man.
Oh, dude. I used to love going there and get there 5 for $20, like their old movies.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember so there was one time me and my brother Rob, we went to I was in high school and I think he was either just out of basic at the time or just out of AIT. and we went to Blockbuster, and we were, we were high. We were little stupid stoner kids, and,
Say it's
and
not
we go,
so.
man, we go in and we come out and we forgot what we had rented.
It was probably Cheech and Chong something.
Oh man, no, we wanted to get some Eddie Griffin stand up, or not Eddie Griffin, Eddie Murphy stand up, and we're in the car and we're looking for our keys, and we couldn't find the keys for like 20 minutes, and they were in the cup holder, and it was just like all kinds of fucking stupid, man. But man, you go in the video store and just looking for videos and shit. That was so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
No, but one thing we need to do, if crypto
Young and
hits,
dumb.
if we make some money, maybe we should open a comedy club, and you can run it and showcase there.
Oh man, yeah. For those of you who don't know, I have some stand up on YouTube somewhere. I'll have to share it in the Discord.
Up. Don't be shy. Pull it up.
Yeah, let me.
I know it's out there because I had you send it to me.
Yeah, I'll actually pull up. I gotta switch my YouTubes. Let me see. Where's my channel? I think I have like less than 10 open mics right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are all my. So I did my first one in 2019, right before COVID, and then it was like 2 years later. But I haven't done one since. Yeah, it was Leap Day last year, and it was funny because they made me wait till the dude that was hosting it actually made me wait till he put me last because I had been there a few times, and it was funny because it was the last day of Black History Month, but I was the last person to go, so I was like, why are they putting a white person at the end of the Black History Month? I was like, this is kind of backwards, but
they put you at the back of the bus.
They put me at the back of the bus. They're like, see how it feels, Whitey? Oh, man. But it's a lot of fun, man. It was like, they give you 5 minutes. And bro, you don't realize how long 5 minutes is. And if like the first couple times, it was like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and you would go through it real quick, but practicing the routine and stuff, it gets a little easier, but
time is relative. Time is relative to whatever the fuck it is you're doing at that moment. Because there's sometimes where a minute feels like an hour, and there's sometimes where an hour feels like a minute. It really, it's weird.
Yeah, but I'll share this in the Discord so everyone can check it out. It's a lot of fun. I haven't really felt the urge to go except for Kill Tony. I really want to make that one my next one, but
it sucks that you didn't get on stage. You went all the way down there to Austin to the to Kill Tony there at the Comedy Starship, Joe Rogan's place. And but dude, such a cool experience though, I bet.
Being surrounded, they put you in because there's like 200 to 300 people that sign up, and you only get there's less than 10 people per episode that get picked. So we're up in this bar a few spots down from the mothership waiting for your name to be called, and you're just up there waiting, and but thankfully I've got my routine, my minute already nailed down, and I've gone through it so many times. I can rip through it pretty good. So the nerves aren't really there, or they weren't there. So I was like really ready to go, man. But
so listening to a lot of comedians, I know they talk about like rhythm and the delivery, and kind of like how you hit and just get it. I get because that's all the greats. They always talk about that. All the greats, they know the lead up, and just like there's a rhythm to it, and then the delivery to where you have to catch it just right. Like there's a hesitation, like for the punchline to to where if you hit it just right, then you're going to be one of the greats.
Oh yeah, and when you walk up to the mic too, a lot of times people will ask the audience how they're doing or say something real stupid. So you got to know how to start it as well. You can't
Oh
just
yeah,
say, "Oh yeah, thanks for having me," or some stupid shit. You got it. It's really like from the beginning to end, man. It's and yeah, the punchline where if you have something you can circle back to at the end to reference
yeah.
from the beginning of the
That
bit is
yeah.
oh
Like
so
closing
good.
the circle.
Yep.
Closing the circle. Because what was that? Dave Chappelle did it with what was it? He was talking about and I kicked her in the pussy, and
Oh,
and
he's
it
so
was
good.
and he was talking about where he was over at his Mormon buddy's house, and he had stovetop stuffing, and it was this whole long thing, and I gave this whole comedy skit. But at the very beginning, he's like, I'm going to use this phrase, and you're not going to see it coming. He's like, at the very beginning, and then at the very end, he was like, the mom came in the bathroom and was like, but we don't have enough stovetop stuffing, for you. And he's like, and I kicked her in the pussy. it's like, oh shit.
Oh, so good. So
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
No, dude, Dave Chappelle is the master at delivery.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And when he came back, it was just a firestorm. He was doing stand up for free, just randomly would show up in parks and
Yeah.
just bring his boom box or speaker box, and people were like, "What the fuck is Dave Chappelle doing here? Just doing stand up?" And he's like, "I'm back, bitch." Oh man. Oh, did we lose you? Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm
Or am I
back.
lagging?
But
Biggity back.
So yeah, anyway, we got on a bit of a rabbit trail there, but I mean, I guess we can close this out. I think we've been going for quite a while.
A couple hours. We got a nice
Yeah.
little crew. Yeah,
Oh,
everyone.
yeah.
Let's switch this back over to the show because I want to direct everyone to back to our channel to show. Let me
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I can't stress enough. And again, it does help the channel, but even if you go, it doesn't help us at all if you go try the free version. If you're trying to do DeFi, please do yourself a favor. Go and try Metrics Finance. There's a free, version of it to where you can just, sign on, create an account with your email. You can sign
Mm-hmm.
on. And actually, I think without even signing on, you can use a bunch of it. But check
Yeah,
out
right
the
here in
value.
the.
Yeah,
Yep.
check out the value. I mean, it is invaluable. And then if you find it valuable, then you can bump it up to like a monthly, like $50 a month or something like that, and get the full functionality or a good portion of it. And as you grow your DeFi portfolio, as long as it's making you more than it's costing you, then it makes logical sense to bump up to the elite and use that because you have the AI functionality where you can actually ask it if you should rebalance a position or exit a position or enter a position, whatever, and if it's a good time. And but it's like having a DeFi expert in your pocket. That one is a bit more expensive. It's 800 a year. It's like 20% off right now if you buy it by the year, and then by the month, what is it, like $100?
Yeah.
Yeah, $100 a month. I'm not saying jump into that one. Try the free. Again, if you see the
Mm-hmm.
value to where it's like, hey, this is making me making me $50 more than I was making before, or it's saving me $50, whatever. The return on investment. If you see that it's making you more than $50, it makes sense. Try the $50 package. The added functionality. Figure that stuff out, and if it gets to a point to where it's saving you or making you $100 because of the analytics that it has, then bump it up, to the elite.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I said. I mean, I personally use it because I see the value. It's not going to have the same value for everybody. It's all about how you use it. It's like any tool. It's how well
Mm-hmm.
how disciplined you are about using it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you reaching out to these experts that are delivering these products and these tools, like him and David, and
Oh,
these
and great
resources
guys.
to learn from. Man, it's and doing these shows each week with them. That I mean, I'm learning so much from these guys. It's incredible.
Dude, every episode I'm learning. Just
Hmm.
the level of DeFi that they're at. Jake is a younger guy, but freaking guys, super business owner. I mean, this whole software, I can only imagine how much it costs. I know at least a couple $100,000. He has a team of developers that are
Yeah.
always working on it. They're always adding functionality. It's just, I mean, you can tell it's professionally, it's all professionally done. But he has his separate business, Builder Wealth, and Luminary Assets, where they basically uh, consult. So if you have you're wanting to build like a substantial DeFi portfolio, they have services where they do one-on-one coaching to guide you how to do all that stuff. It's spendy, but if you're looking to deploy hundreds of thousands of dollars
Mm.
or millions of dollars into DeFi to take advantage of the huge opportunities, you definitely want to make sure you're doing it right. Freaking ten
Build their
thousand dollars.
wealth.
Yeah, I think it's like 10,000 or 15,000 a year for like one of their larger packages. But again, this isn't for the average person. And that's why I very rarely talk about it because,
Mm.
I'm not even in that boat, where I'm going to spend 10, 15 grand to get, consulted. It's, maybe further down the road, I might do something like that. But
Yeah, right here.
anyway,
You have at least 50K in crypto to make it worthwhile.
yeah,
Um, Coachable, systematic approach. Spend 2 to 3 hours a week on DeFi. Yeah, so looks like
honestly,
it.
I would start with our free DeFi
Hmm.
University. Once you got that nailed, go over to DeFi University with David. There's a bunch of free stuff that you can go through there that's going to give you even more knowledge. And then if you want to keep going for $97 a month, you can use our link. Um, Again, you can join that for $97 a month. I'm in there on the daily calls. So there's daily live video calls where he, does Q&As and will, show you advanced strategies and walk you through the process. You can actually come up, and, talk live and ask him, your questions and he'll walk you through it. There's a whole community of people that are different levels of expertise, and they you can find a mentor that can actually help you with your DeFi, somebody that's further along than you are. There's just a bunch of value in there. There's guided courses where you go in and you just step by step. It's all structured in a software to where you can go through step by step and just learn all the different lessons and become a DeFi expert yourself. So again,
Dang.
that's all we're doing here is trying to bring these tools together. I mean, we were trying to build an app like Metrics Finance to offer for free, but there's just so much cost in bringing a very good tool like this to market, and we just
Hmm.
didn't have the resources to do it because again, we do all this for free, and I'm not going to spend a couple $100,000 out of my pocket to give something away for free. I'm sorry. My generosity only goes so far.
Yeah.
But, but so
Generosity turned to stupidity.
exactly. So again, Jake has a great product. David has a great product. Both of them I've talked to at length. They're good, honorable dudes. Jake, if you get one of the memberships and you use it for a week or two and you don't see value in it, he'll give you a full refund. and if he doesn't, come talk to me, and I'll talk to him.
Yep.
And it won't be necessary because again, I've watched him do it. Where he's been like, hey, this person, they got it, they didn't use it, they didn't find value, whatever. Cool, here's your money back. So yeah, I mean, it's thinking about something, and we're shilling something like this. I'm gonna make sure that it's good, honorable people because I'm vouching for them. It's our channel's name, it's Jeff's name, it's my name. If we're promoting this, we're putting our stamp of approval on it.
Yeah, and that's what we're really trying to build here out on the channel is a community of people with integrity and not just shilling shit and dropping tokens like, hey, pump and dumps. No, we're not about that bullshit. We're trying to bring a better light to crypto as a whole and not tarnish our names. I had a manager back in the day that said you don't want to ruin your name. That's one of the biggest things you have, and you
in the military,
you want to keep that integrity.
your reputation is everything. I mean, if you're known as a liar, an integrity violator, if you're a thief, whatever, it's just, once you can do 10,000 good things and, or tell the truth 10,000 times, and you lie once, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you told the truth 10,000 times. You lied once, you're a fucking liar. It's, integrity violation is like a lot of training that you go through in the military. If you're an integrity violator, it's immediate. You're dropped from the course. If you're caught lying or being misleading or trying to cheat, then you're gone. There is no, fucking trial or explain yourself. It's like, integrity violation, not even going to happen. So I don't care what we're offered, money wise, or crypto wise. I will not sell my integrity because all it takes is one time.
Yep.
All right. Well, closing thoughts. I've been rambling on for quite some time.
It's been a fun stream, man. We got a nice little group of people in here.
Absolutely. I need to eat though.
Final thoughts. Just check out some of these free resources. If you find value in it, try the paid stuff, but at least start somewhere. Your DeFi journey, and highly recommend the DeFi Academy because it goes from the very, very basic bare bones of getting into DeFi, and definitely the master classes are invaluable. So check out some of this stuff, and don't be afraid to dip your toes in and reach out to us in the Discord. You can hit us up on Twitter. I think it's easier to message us in the Discord because you can actually, we're in there quite often. So don't be afraid to reach out. We love sharing information with everyone.
All right. Well, my closing thoughts, make sure that tomorrow that you join us at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the DeFi Masterclass. So we'll have Jake and David, Jake from Metrics Finance, David from DeFi University, every Wednesday, and we talk about DeFi. So if you have a question about DeFi, make sure you're there. But we'll be talking about advanced strategies, kind of where we're at in the market and what they're doing. As DeFi professionals, I'll just say it because both of them make a very, very good living off of DeFi. So, I mean, Jake, as a young man has made enough that he's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars developing an app. So, and it's all come from deep crypto and DeFi. So knows what he's doing. David, same thing. He makes a ton of money doing nothing but DeFi. He doesn't even use banks. He uses EtherFi as his bank because all of his money is in DeFi and DeFi strategies. So, two valuable resources that I cannot say how grateful I am that they take the time on Wednesdays to to freaking share their knowledge for free. Also on Fridays, it's me and David, just me and David, and again we talk DeFi, and then Money Talks, like we talked about at the beginning. Money Talks is actually my brother Taylor. He's in McKinney, Texas, and is an estate lawyer. Been doing it for decades. Has a couple of law firms, a couple title companies, but he is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to wealth preservation. So, basically wills, trusts, small business formation for tax reasons, things that you can write off, ways that you can mitigate your taxes legally, like starting a company, putting your crypto assets in that company, making yourself an employee, those sorts of things to where you're getting a paycheck and not having to pay capital gains. You just pay income tax, which is a much lower rate. These hacks that the wealthy use, using wills and trusts to protect your wealth from lawsuits like that. These are very important things. A lot of us we're always worried about when Lambo, when crypto pumps. Yeah, making money's awesome, but what are you going to do with it once you have it? How are you going to diversify into real estate or into other vehicles so that you can ensure that you keep and you stay wealthy? How do you make sure that you pay the minimal amount of tax legally possible? These are the things that we teach on Money Talks. Again, he comes on for free because he's my brother. And then his business partner, Texas Jeff, TradFi Jeff, he has been a licensed financial advisor for decades. And he shares his knowledge about traditional finance. If you want to get into the stock market, the S&P, that traditionally has done very, very well. If you want to get into, a lot of these, more traditional investments or vehicles, great person to talk to. So anyway, that's what we're trying to build here. And I'm just kind of sandwiching this. I know we went over this at the beginning, and those of you that are still here from the beginning, but hats off to you because this has been a marathon. But I just want to stress that if you're looking for a place of integrity that is going to bring you subject matter experts, that lawyers, practicing lawyers, licensed financial advisors, gentlemen that are making, there is no license for it, but gentlemen that are making a very good living using DeFi and advanced DeFi strategies, people that have years of learning how to farm airdrop successfully. We're still looking for somebody for TA and technical analysis that can come on a regular basis. But that is the type of environment, and we actually have some stuff that we're building out right now, where we're going to package together, like some very valuable resources. But that's what we're trying to build here. And again, these are my closing thoughts. Is we're trying to build a place to where you can come and get for free, very valuable information on how you can change your financial and your family's financial future. The government is not going to come and save you. And I'm going to get on a little bit of a political soapbox at the end here. The government is not going to come to save you. They're printing money faster than they're spending it. I don't know if that made sense. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. If you're paying attention at all, they are spending fast. There's nothing backing the US dollar other than debt. And it's getting closer and closer to the point to where people don't want to buy the debt because they know that we can't pay it back. Because the interest payments on the debt is outpacing. And so basically our government is printing money. And if you're watching any crypto channel, this isn't like I'm not giving you some deep alpha. This is what most, crypto channels will talk about. But there is a major issue around the globe with fiat currencies. When the house of cards comes down, I am not going to pretend to know. But I'm going to ensure that I am in physical gold, physical silver, lead. And if you don't know what lead is, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Lead, the kind that flies through the air.
You 2A rights.
Yeah. Crypto, Bitcoin, all these different things, real estate, things that I can put my liquidity into and ensure that no matter what happens, however mild or severe, I have invested in mine and my family and those close to me's future. Again, everything from traditional investments to crypto to Bitcoin that I self-custody to lead being the most extreme. If you're using lead as currency, things have gotten really bad. But
Yeah.
again, I'm not a doomsdayer, but an ounce of prevention. I'm very forward leaning. I like knowing that no matter what happens, I'm covered. If the lights go out for a month, I'm good. If the grocery stores, if the shelves are bare, I'm good. If the government goes away, I'm good. I like knowing that I have that security for my family. Water, food, shelter, protection, the basics. So with that, I'll get off my soapbox. That was my little nudge to those of you out there that maybe haven't watched some of my edgier content that I did in the early days of this channel. I'm all about prepping, and not from a cultish, perspective, but just shit happens. Hurricanes happen, floods happen, different things happen. Have some food, have some water. It's a really
Hurricane
simple.
Helene. I was out there last year for Hurricane Helene and seeing like it was a day or two or it was maybe a day when the power was out where we were at, and it was a shit show. So
You want an eye opener, dude?
well, we spent a week in high school, or after I graduated high school, a week with no power, and it was fucked.
Dude, look at the research that was done on Katrina. If you really want an eye opener,
Oh yeah.
and how quickly civilization degrades, it's spooky. And I've watched it in other parts of the world, just through different conflicts and things like that in my career. But yeah, I mean, basically, going from just everything XRP can fix any natural disaster. Joseph, if I had a ban hammer, you would be banned. No, actually, I love that. Thank you.
It's so funny.
Yeah, no, but dude, think of it this way. Hospitals usually have about a week's worth of diesel fuel for the generators. After that, it's basically the 1800s. They don't have lights. They don't have, MRIs. They don't have x-ray machines. They don't have any electronics. It's basically stethoscopes and, scalpels and shit and whatever knowledge they have. They're going in blind. So, if you have a serious accident and, they're going in blind. So again, it's, if you are reliant on any medications that require refrigeration, insulin, things like that, after a certain time, if there's no refrigeration because the power's out, all that goes bad. So diabetics, they're done. If you have any other medications that are relying on refrigeration, you're done. And I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just being realistic. without power. You don't have stoplights, you don't have, cell phone towers, you don't have communications, you don't have banking, you don't have. How quickly does society break down? You know what I mean? It's, you need to make sure that, and I'm not saying build a bunker, but definitely make sure that you have a little bit of food and water. I guess that's my point. Took a long time to get there, but that's my point. This is what happens on Tuesdays when I'm drinking.
Yep.
And we're live. You
It's
need to drink
it's the
next time,
DGen
Jeff.
show. I'll
You
get
need
my
to drink
tequila next time.
Yeah, you need to drink next time. I'm like the only drunk on
Okay.
air right now.
Oh, I'm sure there's some fans out here that are sipping and smoking on some stuff. So
You know what? Fucking hats off to you. Padow.
we salute.
All right. Well, let's go. I'm gonna go get me something to eat and relax for the evening.
Hell yeah. No, we appreciate all of you out there, especially in the chat. Love to see it.
Absolutely. So yeah, Ricky Romero, Joseph, Deadwood, all of you, appreciate you. Definitely appreciate the support. We honestly wouldn't keep doing this without you because we don't make money. So honestly, it's just in the Discord and in the chat, all of you, telling us your success stories about the money you're making, the crypto you're stacking, the way that DeFi is helping you, change you and your family's financial future. That is what fuels us. Honestly, I could just sit here on my own, do my DeFi stuff, and whatever. But what keeps us doing these live feeds and all the stuff that we do is all of you out there. I can't thank you enough. Jeff, thank you for always showing up. And until next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Peace.